La 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 la. Fuck you, internet. Not you, people. I mean the internet in general. We're supposed to be playing this music throughout. I didn't realise I was, like, lightly muted. I was laughing at people typing in first. You didn't hear that? What's up, saying? Lightly muted, yeah. Now, this is something I've noticed on other people's streams and on Reddit and stuff. If you don't put an emote or joke or something after saying something, people will, even though you're clearly joking about something, take it seriously or get really butthurt. Watching loads of some of my favourite streamers, especially Pyrian Flax is a. Oh, thank you very much for the cheer, much appreciated, Aria. Pyrian Flax is a great example of this. He doesn't really interact with his chat much. He plays his games. He occasionally chats to chat. They're just all random strangers to him, and he'll see something in chat that just says, "Oh, fuck off," or whatever, or says something out of context or hasn't got a capper on, and he'll just take it personally and go, "Fuck you," and ban them. And then later on, he unbans them. It's my Starkin t-shirt, which was sent to me, donated to me. Thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated. Oh yeah, but I see it all the time on Reddit, and I see it on other streamers. They go, me, and people are being mean to me, and they're not even being mean. Sorry, that's my gripe for the day. There'll be others. Don't worry. Hope everyone is doing well. I love your faces, or your lack of faces. I love your faces tuning in to watch my faces or face. Today I wanted to talk mainly, or at least I wanted to talk about some of the concept stuff which is going to be revealed tonight. So we'll have a look at the little tradery clip thing that's going to be of ATV, where they basically say they're going to reveal a new concept ship. That's probably one concept ship with 3 variants. We'll talk about what those concept ships might be, and all of the other ones that I'm aware of, that I am able to discuss and talk about. I do have a little bit more information about general CIG and Foundry 42 goings on, purely because of the tours I go on. Go on those tours, and I see some stuff that which is coming between now and beyond 3.5, and some stuff for Squadron 42 and that sort of stuff. However, when it comes to ships, I was only really aware of the 100i, potentially something for Squadron 42, and other stuff that's really kind of already been mentioned. But I've got pretty good guesses, and we'll talk about that in a second. Oh, the Hercules. What can we talk about it? Lots of people have mentioned the Hercules before, and we'll talk about that as well, I suppose. Oh, yeah. Lots of people messaging me directly. Grey Cat Buggy. The Grey Cat Buggy's amazing. Drake Starter, do you think? I don't think they need any more starter ships. When they talked about starter ships for each of the major manufacturers, it sounded like it was a new thing to them. They went, oh. So maybe we'll get starter ships for all the different brands in the future, but I don't think that's what this concept's going to be. Stop talking about ships, it's illegal. Feel free to ask any questions. You want question in brackets. If after a good few minutes, not every fucking minute or something, because I'll just ban you. Well, I probably won't ban you, I'll probably mute you or something very briefly. If I haven't answered it for a good long while, feel free to ask it again. If I'm not answering a question, it's probably because I've already answered it a couple of times. Would you like to a Star Citizen version of Betty Boop over the Star Kitten thing? I think that Betty Boop and other such skins, I think, potentially could be monetizable by CIG. Don't want any form of loot boxes. and I want to be able to buy skins and paints in-game. However, if they need to further monetize the game, or want to further monetize the game with some, like, amazingly beautiful artwork, that you can see, well, these wouldn't exist unless they've been monetized because they're going to cost a reasonable amount to actually be made by artists, then stuff like Betty Boop over a ship or something similar, I would pay for personally. I pay $5 for a cool skin. That's just me. People are allowed to have a different opinion. Channel SC, thank you very much for the host. Love you. Yeah, question in brackets if you wish to ask a question. Let's see if there's any major ones. Lots of people that love my face. That's reasonable. What do you think will be the direction of Crusader Industries' line of ships? Oh, Maximilian! I want to see more of them after my prediction last time was wrong. Can I ask what your prediction was last time? Because Crusader Industries, I do think, need to be fleshed out. And it's interesting you say that. World War II pin-up stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's the sort of skins that I'd want to see. Hey, how Simon says. Thank you very much for the cheer. So, I'll happily address that. I'm still very good friends with Turk and Saurus and the Redacted guys, and I will still work with them, and I will still appear on the podcast. I left to explore my own sponsorship and other opportunities which may not be appropriate being part of the Redacted team at this stage. So I may well ask to rejoin Redacted in the future. I do also run my own BoredGamer stream team now. And these are people that I will be getting into Star Citizen at some point, but I play games with them very regularly. And it wasn't really appropriate spending my time between them. So Redacted is relatively elitist as a body, and I'm a little bit against that as well. I want something that's a bit more communal and will help all content creators, whereas Redacted don't have the resources to do that. They have to concentrate on content creators they believe are good and to get them invited to the team, and they use that to leverage sponsorships and stuff, which is totally cool and fine. However, that's not necessarily what I want to do at the moment. I'm looking at expanding the channel, expanding the community, getting as many people involved as possible in content creation. And it's not entirely altruistic or anything. It's because I want lots of people to get involved in content creation for Star Citizen because that increases my viewer base. That also enables me, if I've been friendly with them, to call in favours in the future. Be like, let's play some games, let's share audiences, stuff like that. So I leverage it on a large community kind of thing. Redacted was more elitist, but there's nothing wrong with that. Patreon question. Bordy, no, I'm not. I probably am not going to CitizenCon. The reason for that is that it's hard for me to get a visa. I hate travelling. It's in America. It's billions of reasons, probably not. So I might, but it's probably not. And I will not be raising money specifically for travelling to CitizenCon for that very reason. If I go, it will be entirely off my own back because I'm not sure if I'll be able to. And the idea of raising money to that for a maybe is just bullshitteroo. I will send a proxy, though. I will get someone to go in my stead and to record some interviews and to get information and that sort of stuff.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Will the Connie be getting resized in line with some of the other earlier ships? No, so you're unlikely. You might see light modelling work and light work done to the Connie, more on the variants that haven't actually gone out yet, so like the Taurus and that sort of stuff. But you're not going to see like this massive rework of the Connie, and you're not going to see giant resizings of it. Thank you very much. Oh my god, why have people got so... Tyleno Prime. Tylnol Pain. Tynol Pain. Oh, why can't I say people's names? Thanks for the sub. Did you fly the Terraform? Yes. What's your opinion of its field of view from the cockpit?
It's been 4 months.
Oh, Red Huntress, thank you very much. Red Huntress, one of my pillars of my community. And, oh my god, look at the segue. Look at the segue. And she's one of my mods. She's amazing. And it's her org that that is the sponsored org, or the featured org this month. They are called Talons Outer Haven. They are roleplay orientated, and also very active in Star Citizen now, very sort of like pushing the boundaries of testing it. They have their own radio station, which is a real-life radio station, but it's roleplay Star Citizen org. We are giving away a Tonk and a turtle, so a Tumbrel Nova tank and a Terrapin for this month's giveaway. But please check them out. They are, well, I can speak for Huntress. Huntress is legendary, and I will be sitting down with potentially Huntress and some of the other org leaders to talk about their org later this month.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, you are dodging bullets like fucking Neo. Thank you very much for the stuff, the monies, the moolahs. Mate, I'm okay. So, I am lightly salty about all these streamers getting PCs. Okay, I am lightly salty about it. I can't help that I'm a bit jealous. They're expensive computers. I'm not going to go, oh, well, I'm really happy for them. I am really happy for them. Great job. They're fucking great. They are actually streaming playing Star Citizen very regularly. I'm not. I make a YouTube videos. If Intel look at doing YouTubers and I get left out when it's specifically to do with Star Citizen, or let's say left out's a strong word, I don't get considered because I might reject something like that because I do want full autonomy on my channel, then I'd be a bit butthurt. But in this case, I'm just lightly salty. Congratulations to those guys. Most of them, if not all of them, really fucking deserve it. I don't know all of them that have got it. I'm not sure if there's going to be more stuff. So, but the ones I've seen so far deserve it. They do great stuff, and I'm glad that I am genuinely very happy for them. But yeah, I'm a bit jealous. Of course I fucking am. My rig's pretty sexy though, so they go, look at my i9. I'm not sure if an i9's appropriate. I want more single core performance. I'm pretty happy with my 8700K. Also, I may be getting my sponsorships and stuff off my own back in the very near future. Why does no one love me? When are they going to make it so you can use different pads on Port Lossar without using EVA? What do you mean? You want to be able to spawn your ships at the other pads without jumping over to the other pads? You want to be able to, like, travel? Maybe they'll... Well, Port Olisar will be going away at some point. So, don't expect any major changes to Port Olisar. Hashtag sellout zone. Yeah, no, right. Don't expect any major changes to Port Olisar itself. They're going to be replacing it with the truck stops, with the rest stops. So it will change. Star Citizen deserves to get a lot more attention more than Fortnite. I hate Fortnite. However, Fortnite's Battle Royale mode is free. It's a finished game. It appeals to a massively wide audience. It's like Minecraft sort of mainstream. Star Citizen is not mainstream. Star Citizen is an alpha. Star Citizen is not a finished product. Star Citizen is very niche and requires a hella computer to run on. And even then, you're still going to be constrained by the game not being optimized, and the fact it's not really a sit down and play game at all. It's an alpha. So Fortnite is its own beast. It's a finished product. And I do think Star Citizen deserves attention, and it gets a lot of attention. But it's not a finished game. It's not. Don't take that away from Fortnite. I fucking hate Fortnite. But greetings from Belarus. Oh, hello, bud. I thought the 100 would be a ship to flash. Oh, to be Crusaders line. Okay. Why don't they post the cost of tickets for BoredGamer? I would like to know how much I need to save to go. What do you mean? They have posted the... Okay. So, I mean... Huh. So, tickets are available now for BoredGamer. There's lots of the standard access ones currently left. I'm not sure if this price... No, it does not include VAT for me. I'm not sure if I would have to pay VAT either. Standard access tickets are $87. The venue is for 2,400 people, or at least seating for 2,400 here. And 600 of those seats are premium. Premium access is $130. They are selling batches on today at 12 PM PDT. That's going to be 450 standard, 150 premium, and then again at 6 PM PDT. another 450, and standard, and another 150 premium. With premium, you get premium registration service, whatever that is, and seating at the front of the stage. I think people are hoping that there may be goodie bags and that premium access get better goodies, or bits being at the front of the stage may have octane drives thrown at you like confetti. They have not said that. They have not stated that. They are just saying it's for better seats and that premium registration service. So bear that in mind. And people are like, I want premium access. Well, premium... And you can't buy tickets for another person. It has to be for yourself. It's 21 plus venue. Here are the deets again. Go there. Have fun. I'm very jelly of people going. I mean, I might go. It's just incredibly unlikely. This is America! In Austin, Texas, in Long Center. And the venue looks amazing. Boop. New caterpillar modules. I am very much looking forward to when they start to look at modularity of ships and allow us to have the modules and caterpillars and then start talking about them and allow us to change modules and ships. That is very unlikely to happen this year, and they will probably start to look at it middle of next year. I need a visa to go to America because I'm going, even if it's on holiday, I'm pretty sure. Also, it would be partly to do with work, which they can be funny about. I have mental health issues. They're pretty in check, but I still am quite severely bipolar and suffer from quite occasionally crippling OCD-based anxiety. Like, I have been travelling in a plane, going back from Manchester, and just repeatedly being sick, while a male air steward was holding my hand, just going, "It's all right." It's all right, Pete. I'm fine with flying. I'm just having a panic attack. Reigns, if anyone wants me to look at that org and possibly wants to do me to do an org spotlight on it, you can go onto my Discord, which is discord.gg/BoredGamer, and message me on there and give me as much detail as you can about your org, and then give me links about your org. I will check to see if it's something that I want to do in the short term, because I want to cover lots of different types of org, big, small, whatever, and then after I've checked that out, we can talk about if you want to give anything to the monthly giveaway stuff. I am not going to force any of the orgs that I do org spotlights with to give something away. I will give something away, or I'll find something to give away, whatever, even if it's just like an Adventure Titan and game package and whatever else I've got on hand, and like keys for HCS voice packs or something. I do a bundle of stuff. So it's not based on that. However, every org that I have considered for it has gone, here you go, have some stuff. And I've gone, fucking win, thank you very much. That hopefully will get you some more people. But I'm not going to force people to give away stuff if they can't, because I do want to cover a range of orgs. I will be covering Black Diamond at some point as well, for example. I have said to them, look, don't give anything away, I'll foot the bill for that. So ATV should be out typically between 8 PM BST and 10 PM BST. It's like that range. So in 3.5 to 5.5 hours, sort of thing. Yeah, so expect CitizenCon to be bigger and bigger each year. They are making them fan fests. I play games with Cameron, who's the events manager and does some marketing stuff for CIG a lot. And though I don't get any like super insider stuff, he sometimes goes, "You want to go to CitizenCon. If you can at all go, oh, it's going to be really good this year." He'll say stuff like that. If the Syndicate wanted to donate a Mustang Alpha package to this current stream, WO. Michael Shaw, I don't know what W... How would we go about doing that? Oh, do we have... Oh... Message me on the Twitches. Saying, really, I should apprise mods. Oh, we'll do that. I don't know. Message me on Twitch or something, and we'll try and work something out. Really, it should be arranged beforehand because otherwise my brain doesn't work. We'll try and do something. Actually, go on the Discord, talk to one of my mods, so you can see if it's legit or whatever. And if it is, tell them that, and then they can message me. Something like that. Thank you, appreciated. I'm just not which streamers got the PCs? So Captain Richard, WTF, WTFO, yeah, Taurus. So Captain Richard, Taurus, Crucian, Matachi. I'm assuming DJ Knight. Not sure though. And potentially some others. You can go to the RSI, the Robert Space Industries Twitter to find out. Do you think you would have more YouTube subs and Twitch followers if you had hair like Ricky Jutley? In 100%. But I wouldn't be doing Star Citizen content. I'd be doing like stuff about conditioner, stuff about male grooming, not in a sexual way, in a general beard and hair way, rather than like maybe I should go into like egg buffing. Do you think extra features on the Constellation Aquila justify the price difference compared to the Taurus? I can say there's no real justification of prices for their ships at all. It's down to personal preference. Everything will be obtainable in the game. I don't think people should buy anything more really than an Adventure Titan. It's like top tier for me. I buy ships because I'm an idiot and I use them for content. That's the idea. But also, it's like it's my only hobby, so I feel like I can justify it more. I mean, I'm not going to tell anyone to do what to do with their money. Especially if you've got disposable income and gaming's your major hobby, and you love the idea of Star Citizen, and you want to pledge, then fucking great, buy some cool ships. But I wouldn't buy ships for the benefit of the ship so much. I do that still. I'm such a hypocrite. Predictions, well, the Drake Vulture Scavenger and the Anvil starter ship is still missing. A medium miner and a small fuel gathering ship. So some of that's not on my list, Azur. And we'll talk about what we think. We'll talk about predictions in a second. I'm going to go through a couple more of the questions. I know you're going to get this late in the discussion, but do you think the new concept ship is going to be the Drake Vulture we voted on? We'll talk about that. It's interesting there's 3 of them, though. So if there's variants of that, I can't imagine variants of the Vulture. Cry and whine and have a meltdown like WTF, and maybe somebody will give you a new PC! You can't say that. Okay, look. Taurus wears his heart on his sleeve sometimes. Okay? That's what it is. I'm going to be very democratic about this. Dwark and Taurus and most of the Star Citizen content creators I'm relatively good friends with, and people are people. People have bad days. People get emotional. People get butthurt. You should see me when I play PUBG, mate. I wouldn't PewDiePie, but I say some angry things, normally about them cheating, but question. Have you read the article Commander Llama, Multicrew, a Sea of Thieves autopsy for a greater Star Citizen? Comments and thoughts. I looked at it, but I haven't actually read it yet. It's a relay.sc one. I will look at it later. Normally I consume all the content in the world. I'm a little bit busy with actually some stuff at the moment, which is why, well, I might do a video later today when after the ATV. So I'll split ATV into 2 videos. It'll be project update and the ship shape, and then the new concept sale, whatever it is. Premium tickets are probably on sale now, if they haven't already been entirely sold. So check that out. Any news on female character models in upcoming patches? Female characters are coming in 3.4 is the current plan. You can see on the roadmap-aroo. Characters 3.4, playable female characters. Boom. Boom, mate. Look at that. Bam. People think that I'm, like, relatively smart or something sometimes. Though at least someone commented on that at least once. I just have lots of stuff ordered and available to me. Question: if you own multiple modules for a ship, do you think there will be an in-game credit cost for switching? Potentially, yes. I would expect that. I think that maybe if you have your own base or own potentially some hangars, might allow you to do that for free. But I do expect there to be a nominal cost for changing modules around. How will the 600i cost in the 3.2 cell? How much will it cost? How much was the 600? Let's find this out. Star Citizen 600i concept price. It'll be whatever that concept price was. Most likely. So, specifically, the one that's coming out in 3.2 is the Explorer version, not the Touring version. So the Touring version is the hotel in space, but the so it's between $400 and $375. Oh no, it's between $375 and $435. More specifically. Do you know anything about Squadron 42's release date? Nope. Other than Squadron 42 will be going on the roadmap at some point for Episode 1. The Evocati are planned to be testing Squadron 42 just before release, although stuff like that changes. But expect to see some stuff on the roadmap. At this rate, how long do you predict till Star Citizen leaves alpha or reaches their full realized version? Years? So I'm expecting a alpha, a beta version of the game in about between 2 and 2.5 years. So think 2020, mid to late 2020, and then I'm expecting 5 systems, 5 to 10 systems, and it to be a relatively playable game, and then maybe a year later. You'd have up to 30 systems and a released product, maybe a year and a half later. Obviously, that might change significantly based on trials and tribulations of the roadmap and tech that they need to put in. But you can see a lot of their core tech is now coming together. They're just about to finish properly their simulations for, well, the integration of the simulation for like IFCS and Gravlev and ESP. Like, I'm assuming that stuff's been broken regularly since 3.0 because of iterations to the rest of the engine and design implementations and that sort of stuff. I was talking about to John Pritchett, who is the designer of those systems. He is a senior physics engineer or senior physics lead at CIG, and I will put as much of that info as I can together in a video, probably tomorrow if I have time. But he was very, very happy with the current iterations that he's getting ready for potentially 3.1.4 or 3.2. So that's when it's going to be in a very playable state. The physics models for Gravlev and for IFCS. Do you have any predictions of which patch we will see Piracy 1.0 system? We will start to see a lot more in the form of outlaw and piracy gameplay, even in 3.2. But I think this year to December 3.4, we're going to see more and more piracy, more and more gameplay that introduces reasons for outlaws to be outlaws and for players to interact with each other. I'm okay with ducks as well. Good job. Hello mods, I'm from Syndicate, wanting to donate a Mustang out for today's stream. Kind of short notice, but I tend to miss your streams. I work a ton IRL. Sabe, is it possible that do you want to give it? Okay, bear with me, guys. Can I get your org page link? Sorry, Huntress. I'm gonna have to schmooze another org for free stuff. Can I get your org page link? And yeah, if you want to, that's Great. So we'll see if we can work out a giveaway for later today. Bear with me. Watch this space. It might not happen. It might happen. I don't know. It's been unvetted. I know it's always possible to change, but do you think that mining in 3.2 will be a good indication of how resource gathering will be done in the future? I mean, it will be first iteration and it will change massively. However, I do expect it will be a skeleton of a working feature, which they will build upon, and they might change it significantly, but it'll be I don't think it will be a good indication, to be honest. I think it will be a light indication of how the system will sort of work, so the loop of it, which will be find minables, mine, take minables back to base to sell. Not even the refining might be there, so there's a lot more to go there as well. There might be some UK streamers getting sponsored in the future. Don't know why there's no UK sponsors at the moment. Maybe they couldn't find, because I'm assuming the sponsorships were paid for by Intel and the a particular PC company that they went with. So I don't think it's any form of backer money being used.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
I've yet to meet DJ or Twerk or Saurus. Sidero, thank you very much for the sub. CIG wants Stanton finished before moving on to other solar systems. If gas giant tech isn't cracked soon, do you think CIG should put Crusader on hold and move over onto other systems instead? No, they need to get that ready first. However, they're making massive progress on the gas tech. Like it's nearly done. Nearly done for CIG means within 3 months probably, because it's probably done, but they just need to polish it. So they've been using the gas tech for lots of different stuff recently. They talk about it like it's not as completed as it is because they've put massive amounts of polish into it. They've been putting a good amount of resources into that gas cloud tech. So gas cloud tech, object container streaming, server mesh stuff, obviously IFCS, flight model system, ESP, Gravlev, all of that's core tech. The only core tech that's basically not on the roadmap is traversal to other systems. So jump points. Everything else, core tech wise, important core tech, is now on the roadmap. So if that all gets in by 2.4 by December, fucking win. And then system traversals, if we get that next year, then we're in a good place. Star Citizen will be at a run rather than at the moment. It's like it's starting to pick up speed to a jog. It's been walking for quite a while. But no, I think they should. They need to finish the Stanton system fully. Stanton gives them a massive cross section of loads of different biomes, how the systems should operate, and they want that done so then they can move on to other systems in earnest. When do you think they will add some of the hacking and repairing minigames for communication beacons? So if they're not the true mechanics for repairing or for hacking, then you could get that in a mini patch. You could get that in 3.2 onwards. I don't know exactly when, but you could get that at any time. What do you think the new meta will be like in 3.3 with the Hammerhead coming alive? Hopefully, it'll be purely based on how good multi-crew is, won't it? Thank you very much, Citero, for the massive amount of cheer. Appreciate it. So it'll purely be dependent on how good multi-crew is, how good those turrets aim. In multi-crew, if they've got the turret tech down properly, which they probably should have by then, it'll be pretty good. There's not enough of the other gameplay around to make.
Love your face, monkey.
Oh, thank you very much, Alfred. I love your face too. Thank you very much for the sub. Commander 800, thank you very much for the donation. Let me answer this question first. But yeah, so I think that Hammerhead is going to be one of the best ships in the game for patrolling, for defense, for general gunshipiness, because it is basically just 100 turrets stuck on a ship. It's not 100 turrets. That was an exaggeration. Was it 6 turrets? It's one of my favourite ships. I think it will be very good, but yeah, it will be purely dependent in 3.3 whether it's good based on multi-crew stuff. and how good the turrets we can put on it, and how much power draw, how good the power plant is. We need it in our hands, basically, to work out how good it's going to be. Because there's going to be great meta you can do with it. There's going to be, you want to put loads of lasers on it and that sort of stuff. So it can shred stuff, so it can shoot down torpedoes and missiles, super defensive, great for a small fleet's flagship. Yeah, I'm excited about it. But I don't know how good it's going to be in 3.3. Hey Bored, how's it going? I got 2 short questions. You going to CitizenCon this year? Probably not, because it's in Austin, because of getting a visa to America, because of lots of different reasons. I potentially might, but it's very unlikely. Do you think the flight mechanics are good currently? In 3.1.4, in the current PTU, they are significantly better, and they are getting dialed in. Between now and 3.2, I expect, and talked to John Pritchett, who is doing the actual work on that, or at least the simulation side of it, because there is design and implementation side, which are entirely out of his hands. That should be getting dialed in, so it is a core, good gameplay experience for flying the ships. It's not going to be super realistic. It's going to be very gameplay driven. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be responsive for the ships, and that will be Gravlev, that will be IFCS, and ESP all getting dialed in, I believe. We will talk about the concept stuff in a minute. What do you think we will see when will we see the first iteration of rain? We're going to see rain. We're going to see weather this year at some point. I'm not sure what weather types we're going to start to see though. I believe we're going to see weather. That was implied at probably on ATV and RTV, but I talked to people about it at BoredGamer. What do you think of the Crusader Genesis Starliner? It's one of my mate Zen's favourite ships in the world. I think it's got a very cool place in the verse. I love the idea of being an air steward as well. You are not BoredGamer, do you prefer? Yeah, they talked about it in the little video. So let's bring that little video up on the screen, actually. Bam. No.
Welcome to another brand new edition of Ship Shape.
This is the ship shape that's going to be on tonight.
Is a hard-hitting anti-capital ship. Its strength really comes from being able to leverage 4 size 3 guns on its manned turret.
So they describe that Hurricane as a anti-capital ship. So it's basically a 2-man fighter, and it's got 4 size 3 big guns on its turret. And then I think 2 size 4s potentially on its front. It's a heavy fighter, but it's fast, and it hasn't got huge amounts of shield or armor. So it's supposed to be relatively fast. Get in, boom, 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 destroy stuff with DPS, or hitting a wing with other ships defending it, and get out quick. Think of them as alternatives to missile fighters, bombers, like medium light bombers, that sort of stuff. It's high-powered, targeted, focused damage. So they're going to be, I mean, they might be okay, especially if you flank fighters against a fighter. If the fighter's already engaged another target and you've got a great turret gunner, you might be able to really fuck up some fighters. However, it's going to be much better against larger ships, Constellation size and bigger sort of thing. And capital ships, think of it taking out specific turrets. Think about it taking out specific systems you can see on the side. Think about it damaging particular areas and very focused fire. And that's why they refer to it as anti-capital.
So the cockpit in this particular ship is a little bit more minimalist than your average anvil ship. Trying to keep the player view as clean as possible.
The Hurricane definitely feels like it's the kind of ship that's going to appeal the most to players wanting to pick on bigger targets.
There's a lot of detail in there. It looks like a really angry face, and I think that sort of reflects what it's supposed to feel like when this thing's bearing down on you. Just get out of the way, man.
It's my honor to introduce to you 3 brand new additions to Star Citizen's pantheon of spaceships.
So, 3 new ships tonight, and it refers to Ship Shape, Hurricane, New Ship Reveal, and Project Update. On the tweet post, it said a new concept ship, so we're assuming new concept sail. Let me just actually check that, because I can look at it here. Tomorrow, on Around the Verse, which is actually today now, we take a look at how the Hurricane punches above its weight class, and reveal a brand new concept. So, I'm expecting a concept sail to be fully blown tomorrow. That's my expectation. On May the 4th. Huh. So May the 4th is when they're going to be doing their concierge backer LA dinner party thing for a very small amount of backers. It was quite expensive, but that's because they're going out to dinner to a nice restaurant with Chris Roberts and people. But May the 4th, traditionally May the 4th be with you, sort of things like a Star Wars-y day, isn't it? Maybe it's a Star Wars-looking ship. Actually, because some of them could be very influenced by Star Wars. So expecting new concept, so at least a new ship reveal, and there's going to be 3 of them. So it's probably variants of a ship. Let's not bring that up. Let's bring this screen up again. And let's, where do I put my notes? So, potentials that have previously been talked about in Star Citizen. So, there is the Drake Vulture small salvage ship. So, this ship was talked about, I should bring this up again, in the Happy Hour game dev, You Pick the Next Drake ship, where they had this one, the Drake salvage ship, little tiny starter salvage ship. But there was also ships like the multi-crew Drake Explorer, named the Corsair, and the Drake Scout Carrier. Now, I don't expect, other than the Drake salvage ship, I don't expect other ships that were talked about to be Drake anymore, but I do expect them to go in the game. They are probably holes that they want to fill. And there wasn't just those ships talked about, there was also a Starlifter and a medium storage runner. So, Starlifter would be to carry vehicles, potentially tanks, tonks, and other vehicles from planets' surfaces to space and vice versa in the game. You need something to be able to do that. That makes sense. Also, potentially, I suppose, buildings that aren't built by the Pioneer. I was always thinking, how do we get defense turrets and things on planets? The Pioneer's not building them. How do we get them on Starlifter? Makes sense. The medium storage runner, they want to do a ship, small, medium, large, and potentially capital, which can be large, I suppose, but is controlled by more players, I suppose, capital ships. They are higher skill level needed because of the amount of players that need to coordinate. That's the way I see capital ships in the game, although capital ships should really be military ships aligned, but so medium storage runner, but they're probably looking to fill a hole for small, medium, and large of every type of ship in game that makes sense. So medium storage runners don't really know what they could do for that. Scout carrier, that's the Kraken. I'd love to see the Kraken. Don't expect to see 3 versions of the Kraken though. I expect to see 1 if they do a giant scout carrier. So scout carrier would be a non-military ship carrier. So it will carry large ships, like freelancer-sized ships, and that sort of stuff. If people want to see that page, want to see that video again, bam. So yeah, Drake Vulture small salvage ship is confirmed. We know that's coming at some point this year as a concept sale. Starlifter makes sense. Kraken Scout Carrier makes sense. The Corsair, which would be Drake's alternative to the Constellation, maybe doesn't make so much sense anymore. We've got the 600i and all that sort of stuff. Medium storage runner makes sense. What else makes sense? It's a ship, not a vehicle, so you can rule out vehicles. There's the spider miners that we've seen. They'll probably be coming at some point. Although they might just be a Squadron 42 thing or a more civilian-y type mining thing. Potentially got some more drone gameplay. Potentially got space station builder, though they seem to be shying away from that slightly at the moment. There's a few things that it could be. What do people think? People have any opinions on that? What do you think happened to the Reclaimer's manned cutter? I think there will be a grabby hand, and that grabby hand will have a laser that will, in the same way that mining's going to work, kind of drill into salvage and suck it out. When do you think we'll see hand tools? I think 3.3 has potentially got repair by hand in. So you'll see the hand welder then probably, possibly, potentially. Gameplay. Repair bots and repairing ships. Yeah, so expect to see the hand tools potentially with 3.3 in September. Will ships such as the Polaris have hang-up assistance? Yes. We'll have hang-up assistance at some point. What do you think the Retaliator base will end up being? Cargo carrier? No, so the Retaliator base basically will have those, or maybe you'll just get given the cargo modules for free. Those cargo modules are supposed to be separate for that, so the Retaliator base will probably just have those rooms blocked off. Potentially, you've got no modules there. You've got no modules there. Those rooms are blocked off. But you need the actual modules. Do you think that premium ticket holders will get Oprah-type giveaways? Potentially, however, they haven't said anything like that. I think some people are like, well, maybe we'll get a better goodie bag, or maybe we'll get an Obtain drive or something. Why is your egghead so mesmerising? Jot dot, I don't know. I wasn't actually born this way. I used to have a beautiful mohawk, until like, I don't know, 7 years ago. It's actually been a while now. Oh God, what am I doing with my life? Question: since we have beds for saving in ships, is there going to be anything else we need, like food or oxygen levels? It's a good point. While you're offline, can you die because you are too hungry or because your oxygen is low? I suspect you can probably die offline still if your ship hasn't logged off. So if you're on a capital ship and you're lying in bed and other people haven't logged off yet, so your ship isn't effectively safe, yeah, you could potentially die still from whatever source. People shooting you, oxygen depleting, you being too hungry. There might be light survival mechanics, however, I don't expect food to be essential for you. It may be essential for your crew to not go, well, our morale's low, fuck off, or they might charge you extra for not having food on your ship or whatever, from an NPC standpoint. But some of the stuff they haven't fully explored yet, so they might suddenly go, yes, you need food and water to survive. But they've said light survival mechanics, maybe they want you to eat, they want you to wash. But I don't think it's going to be super enforced. What concept ship do you think is next? As we said a minute ago, well, I'm like 20 minutes behind on chat, so I've probably already answered that. What's the willing lottery numbers? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many numbers do you need?
So many spaceships.
Oh, thank you very much.
I know it's been a while now, but it was great finally seeing you in person at BritCon. Hope your bum is still going strong, and let me know if you ever make it to Frankfurt. Less than 3, less than 3, less than 3. Thank
you very much, Blue Six. I take it you are the gentleman that grabbed my ass very aggressively. It's fine. I don't encourage other people to do it. It's a special thing that I have with Blue Six, where... Thank you very much for the donation. Very much appreciated. Wakehet, do you reckon the speed of systems implemented will increase once they have all of the little systems finished? Yeah. So, as soon as they've got that first Stanton system fully done, I mean, they are working on others at the same time, like the Odin system, like the Lear system. We've seen bits of them. Like, we can see here now, this is part of the Odin system on the screen behind me. Yeah, significantly so. They are building the base tech and making all of their tech super modular and super useful tools-wise, so they can just rapidly build out stuff. There are going to be things that take them a while to do, like hero assets, like specific buildings, like flavor buildings, like particular props. Yeah, but they can build out the planets. They can drop those prefabs and props and stuff in billions of different ways now, with loads of different layouts, with loads of different shaders, loads of different colours, and then have the extra flair and accent pieces to make it all look very unique. So yes, significantly so. People are like, oh, they haven't even got one system after 5 years. How are they going to build within 4 all of these hundreds of systems? Well, probably won't have hundreds of systems at launch. I think they've got 120 systems sort of like planned on paper at the moment. But I think 30, 40 systems, probably hoping towards 40 for an actual 1.0 release of a non-beta full game. When do you think we'll see Titan suits? Oh my god, I want Titan suits. I will buy Titan suits. We've had space bikes for a while, and they're basically useless. Infidel Dog, it's funny you say that, because I was talking to John Pritchett, as I say, about the Gravlev system, and he's put a giant post up about it as well. So space bikes will have, they will have a little, I can't think of words, they will have a place in the verse. They will certainly be useful. Obviously, they're relatively useless pre 3.1.4 because they were broken. The raycasters were broken. They didn't work properly. But they're going to have low IR and EM signatures. They're going to be below radar. They're going to be very fast. They're going to have little weapon platforms. They're going to be able to go over lots of different types of terrain. So and they might be incredibly fuel efficient on the ground as well. Stuff like that. So they are going to have a place. But I do want to see Titan suits. I expect we'll see a Titan suit concept this year. Potentially towards like CitizenCon sort of time. If you're going to drop something amazing, like either the Kraken Scout Carrier type thing, or Titan suits, or both, CitizenCon's going to get you a lot of attention. Will ships not log out if the max crew says 5 and I have 7 NPCs aboard? Don't know. Don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna do all of that. I don't know, Agent. I wouldn't expect. But if you're overloading your system like that, your ship, then maybe it won't log out. Or maybe it will take a lot longer to log out. I've got some informations on my website, boardgamer.co.uk. I don't know why I said it like that. Let's go here. Starters and guides. Come on. So I've just rewritten these guides, so they're not based on my really, really old ones. So I've got some performance guides here for Star Citizen and for Windows 10. Check them out. They are actually pretty good now. Before they were a bit too sweeping and a lot of the stuff you didn't need to do in Windows 10 because Windows 10 just does it. So I was lucky / crazy enough to buy a Javelin. Do you think it will come with any weapons or fitted with modular runes? It will be relatively strict. It's supposed to be a stripped down military version. I suspect it will be flyable still in its stripped down state, and it might have some very base, more civilian weaponry on it. But it's supposed to be this project basically for an org to fit out. Started as an 890J. Nice name. Questions. How will organisations be able to ships? Will I be able to share ships to Great Fleets? I believe there's always a chance for your ships to be stolen, yeah. I believe you will be able to share ships with your org. Obviously, otherwise people will be very upset when they've got giant ships and giant fleets and won't be able to rent their ships out or won't be able to lend them out. So that's almost certainly going to be a thing. Don't know when it's going to be in. There's going to be lots of org tools they're starting to develop over the next few weeks, months, years, potentially. Check your Twitch DMs. Okay, let me just check my Twitch DMs. Bear with me. Okay, Seb, do you have any particular way? See, Sobe, do you have any particular way you want to give away that ship? It's been vetted. There's a real ship. Oh, it's Syndicate. Oh, I'm gonna be looking at these guys properly on a org spotlight at some point as well. Let me. Oh. Right. So we may have a sponsor giveaway in a bit from these guys. This Syndicate. Check out their page. Have a look at them. Give them some love, even if I can't work out how to fucking do anything. Give these guys some love. They're cool. The Syndicate organises the crime, operate outside of legal or ethical restraints. Okay, so they are neutral, potentially chaotic neutral, maybe not chaotic neutral. Even if you don't plan on breaking the law at all, membership in the syndicate grants you and your crew lifetime protection. So basically, they just operate outside the law. They're not particularly super aggressive. They're not like, we're going to kill people for the sake of killing people. Are they? But they are outlaw, happy, proper outlaw play. Does it have to be profit-driven? Because that will make me happy. No harm for no profit, fucking win. Okay, so this is the sort of stuff that I like to see in outlaw orgs. I think I indeed talked to Syndicate before, so I knew they had this. So no harm for no profit. So don't randomly attack people because it's going to cost you money. It's if you think you can make money, then that's significantly more reasonable. I think that's a much better way of being a pirate. It's not like hello, lol. It's like, well, it's a very nice mining ship you've got there. Maybe you should pay me to not kill you. Like, that's cool. Check those guys out. We'll potentially do a giveaway in a bit for a Shipperoo. What Shipperoo was it? Go back here. So this is what I don't. Mustang Alpha starter package. So that's a game package as well, is it? Fucking win. Cool. We'll have to think of a way of giving it away across Twitch and YouTube's. So. Right, what else have we got? Will stuff like time relativity and 4th and 6th detention be in game? Huh? Is that an Eve thing? I don't think time relativity. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe? No. Yes? Will Gravlev walk over the water? Yes. I believe the spacey bikes will be able to be drivable over the water. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate the love. Thank you, genuinely. Appreciate all the kind words and love. I've got a very good community that watch my stuff. Star Citizen community is typically older gamers, not entirely, but typically older gamers and people that are focused on the project, that really like the idea of the project. They're typically more mature when it comes to not raging about things. You do still get that occasionally. I still get grumpy and angry about stuff, but it's a very nice community, and I'm very, very happy to be part of it. AI will doable land ships and do some cargo run in the vets soon. Zero Gaming, you always break my brain with your questions. I feel like I need to send you through a mod to interpret. Okay, I'm gonna reword this and assume an answer, a question, and then answer it. Will AI be able to land ships soon? That's a good question itself. Osri, thank you very much. So originally, ship landing on planets was on the roadmap for 4.0 in the gameplay section. However, it seems to have been potentially subsumed into some other bits. So, I don't know, is the honest answer. They are going to have combat AI, so that will walk around planets, that will be available on planets in 3.2. They're going to start it then. And better flight behaviors and stuff like that. So 3.3 will see improved weapon use from the AI. 3.4 will see combat stealth gameplay added, and quantum strafing, better pilots. 3.5 will see various AI combat styles and flight combat styles. So we could potentially get landing on planets between now and 3.5, but it seems to have been removed from the schedule. So it might have been subsumed into one of those other things that we just mentioned, or one of those other patches, or it might have been pushed back. Realistically, when do you think this game is going to be released? When all the job roles will get implemented? So 2.5 years. So I'm thinking mid to late 2020 we will have a beta. That's my expectation. I might be a bit optimistic, but I think that's the general thing. Board, do you think they'll convert REC to in-game currency? No. No, REC's a totally separate thing. That's for Arena Commander and for Star Marine. When the game is finished, if I want to get away from it all, will I be able to land on a forest planet, build a cabin, scuttle my ship, and just live there, fishing and growing food? Potentially, yes. So you're going to be able to build outposts. So you might not be able to build a log cabin, but you might be able to. I haven't seen wood in the game really yet. Yeah, you'll be able to build an outpost. You potentially could just live on that planet from then on. I think you'd be cutting out a huge portion out of the game for yourself. Also, I do think there will be mods and private servers and stuff for people that want to do like a single planet sort of like simulation as well in the future. If you don't go to CitizenCon, what are your plans for covering it live? Watching it live and talking about it potentially live, or doing a video straight after it. I don't know. I'll have a proper thing. I'll also make sure that I have someone there that's recording, so I can grab some like footage of the actual event from the event. I can get some get them to get some interviews for me. How do you buy ships in game? You can't at the moment. We're hoping it comes with 3.2, which would be the next batch in June. They're having a better shopping experience for them, and they've got the consoles and the ability to buy larger items and weapons. So there's no reason you couldn't have ships, I believe, at that time as well. We don't know how long it's going to take to buy the ships. We don't know how they're valued. They're going to constantly iterate on that, though, to work out how long it should take to get those ships. Do you think a Vanguard Sentinel can use E-War to disguise him or herself as a juicy hull B? I think there will be signal spoofing. I hope there will. I hope there's a deep E-War game. It'll be something I'm very interested in covering and doing. So hopefully, I like the idea of being able to spoof signatures. We saw that in Squadron 42. They spoofed names and things, so I don't see why you couldn't spoof a signature like that. Will you spotlight smaller organisation if they ask very, very kindly? I spotlight them. Yeah. Contact me on the Discord. Give me information about your org. Give me all the links to it. I'll do some research. I'll have a look. I might not cover it. I might cover it. I might contact you at some point. There's lots of orgs that have asked. When I can't... basically, I shortlist them into ones that I like, or like the ideas of or want to cover, and then I will randomly choose one if it's not super apparent who I want to do. And then just put them in like a list and say, oh, are you okay for being covered in September, sort of thing. I haven't made plans for covering or streaming CitizenCon yet, but I probably will put it on my schedule and work out exactly what I'm doing and see if there's some other content creators around that want to do something together. AI will do landable ships, and yeah, we've talked about that already. About ships in game. Love you, the few. Love you, Sidero. Love you, lots of you. Mwah. Huntress and Kieran, you get extra love. Now that we have atmospheric hair animations, what do you think the chances are that we will get the realism of bullet drop? I think bullet drop will exist for ballistic weapons, and I think that will be one of the downsides for ballistic weapons. Makes sense that they've got the bullet literally comes out of the fucking gun, the actual barrel of the gun, not the. It doesn't spawn at the end of the gun; it comes out of the barrel. So yeah, it makes sense to have bullet drop. But I don't know that for sure. Just expecting it, and then laser weapons probably won't have bullet drop. Would an upgraded CPU help frame rates? It depends how. It depends on your current CPU. CPU probably is not bottlenecking you, as long as you're not beyond like 3-4 generations. i7s are pretty good. Even like a 2600K would still be able to run Star Citizen pretty well, to be honest. And that's second gen i7. Yeah, potentially a watch party. We can do some. We'll do something, definitely. We will cover it. We'll cover it as a community. I just want to see if we can get other people involved. What's sensible to do. What's not going to be like, well, would this be lame? Would this be great? Whatever. We'll explore some things. I'll chat with Huntress, Kieran, and the rest of the mods and stuff as well. Ask people what they want if we've got more ideas. More variant hull locking today in concept, or do you think we can have some customization in the verse? Oh, so Mr. Govey, I don't know when they're going to start to talk about modules and have that probably like middle of next year. I think it is probably going to be variants though, so locked, yeah. Any news on Voyager Shop melt and update prices? Good question. I'm expecting it with 3.2. I'm sorry I don't have any information on that properly. I do poke CIG about it quite often. They give me no answer. So it might be something that they're thinking about, or might be something that they're going, we'll get it if we can. I think it's planned for 3.2, but it was planned for 3.1, so you know. Yes, the planets are huge and that's cool and everything, but what can you do on them? Well, not much at the moment, and not much in 3.3 when we get the first one. They'll be cool. There'll be missions and stuff to do from there. There'll be potentially wildlife. We don't even know that. But there'll be missions and there'll be explorables to do there. There's water and stuff there. It's alpha, so it's more just to test that core tech and stuff works. But there will be a good amount to do, but it will be simple missions and things like that. Do you think we'll see the Polaris in-game this year or in 2019? 2019. Are we stuck with landing gear dropping dramatically, or automatically? Drives me nuts. No, probably not in the future. We'll probably be able to entirely turn it off if we want to. Cybersex? Oh. How dare you, Huntress? How dare you give a tier 1 sub to Cybersex? Like, I can't believe I said that. It's the first time I've said correctly. No, we just read that. What's your favourite breakfast cereal? Something called grape nuts, because I quite like texture with cereal. And I actually put salt on them. I'm a monster. On the Arc map, you can see Earth. Will we be able to go there? I believe so. I believe the solar system is going to be fully interactable and modelled and visitable. Do you think cryosleep will be a thing? So we actually saw that in the Squadron 42 demo. I think it might be a thing for NPCs, and I think it might be a thing for cargo, and I think it might be potentially even a thing for bounty hunting, but I don't think it will be a thing for players. Maybe it will. I mean, it's irrelevant, isn't it? You're just in a box. I probably won't be going to CitizenCon this year, as I said earlier. Just added my application for your org. How often does it get looked at? If you're talking about mine, Jim Boardman, I won't be looking at it until 3.2 is released, and then I will probably start up some proper stuff with the org. Do you think smaller industry-focused ships, the Prospector, the Freelancer, should have weapons? I would rather have much stronger defences. These ships have no chance against a fighter. I think that they don't have much in the way of weapons. I mean, the Freelancer is supposed to be a bit more multi-role and about to defend itself. But the Prospector and stuff, their light weaponry is part of their form of defense. So you have light weapons and like better shields or whatever. But you're going to be able to customize these. You're going to be able to go, well, fuck the weapons. I'll put a bigger power plant on and I'll have stronger shields. And they don't have no chance against a fighter. You might just need to repel them long enough for people to come and help you and stuff. So they have very little chance, admittedly. In some situations, they're going to have pretty much no chance. But do you think they need a better system for approaching a base on a planet from orbit? Now I have trouble telling if I have line of sight. I come back in orbit flight sim mode. Oh, Chansei, thank you very much for the sub. Love your face. So yeah, the current idea they've got for traveling to planets and traveling on planets quickly from orbit is that you'll be able to quantum travel to a location. You'll go, well, I'm going to go to that outpost that's on the opposite side of the planet. So it will draw a big dome over that outpost, and then you can click there as a location. It will curve around the planet for your star map. You're going here, and then you can quantum travel that way via that spline, via that curved line. So you will be able to. The current idea, the current best option they've got is that. So you can literally go, I'm going to go here. And then you'll come in at an angle when you come out of quantum travel. So you won't come in straight from nosedive into it. It's a very good system, and I'm hoping they use it for quantum travel in general, because you're not going to be able to quantum travel in atmosphere. You have to be above atmosphere to quantum travel. But I'm also I'm hoping they use that splining for all of their quantum travel, because stuff's going to be orbiting and rotating. It's going to be complicated, and they need those splines to be able to tell us where we're going. And they need to be relatively dynamic, I think. What's the design ideas for the Origin rover? Snub rover crossover would be cool. I think it's just a more sleek Ursa, is my expectation. But I don't know. It's probably more focused on exploration. So expect potentially no weapon, maybe a weapon, but potentially no weapon, and probably room for a tiny bit of cargo. If they make the Sol system, will you be able to visit, say, London? Expect futuristic city planets. That's what I'm expecting. Potentially a couple of hero assets that go, ooh, Big Ben! Something like that, maybe. Any word about caves potentially on planets/moons? It's potential tech they will build into the game in the future. They might have some ability to like build hangars underground. I'm thinking that they can just say that you can build a hangar and there's like a little pad on the hangar which will have your ships safely stored underground, and that's what my hope is. But I don't think you'll be able to build like huge underground bases. You're not going to be able to deform the terrain either. You're going to be able to build on it, but not going to be able to deform it. And there will be nodes and like rocks and stuff that will be destroyable, well, minables. Do you know that scene from Prometheus when they land and the guy steps on the planet and goes on a plant that goes inside him and killed his whole crew? The plant? You mean the eggs? The alien? Do you think that could happen in Star Citizen? Lord, so they want xenomorphy type things. They want some cool, like, oh god, I'm being stalked by a weird alien or monster on a ship. Thank you very much. Gordiablo? Thank you very much. Love your face. So yeah, you're going to have these odd things happening. You're going to have these like very bespoke stories you can froth about with people. They might not be bespoke, but they're going to be your stories. I suppose they are bespoke because they're modular, and the system for missions is it can be made up of like 30 different little modules that all come together and give you different. Even if you do very similar missions, every time they could be completely different. But yeah, you'll get some cool weird things. You get some cool exploration things. You might be attacked by xenomorphs on a ship that you're thinking is deserted. Would you like to see an industrial hybrid ship that can fly, land, crawl, over planet service, long-term harvest, and mining operations? Yeah, I would, and I'd like it to be able to build structure. Well, like it to be able to maybe potentially build or place structures that aren't the structures that the Pioneer's doing. So maybe solar panels, maybe turrets, and that can repair buildings and can salvage stuff. So I think there's a lot of holes that can be filled for something that can go on the surface of the planet. Well, they've talked about potential xenomorph-esque type things happening in the verse. That's all I'm saying. Will able to use tools, stuffs for moving cargo. They haven't 100% decided how cargo, large-scale cargo, will be moved off ships. So that there's lots of different ways they can do it. It's going to be whatever is best for gameplay. They don't want it to be like, potentially, if people haven't got anything to do for half an hour while their cargo is unloaded, that might be disappointing. So it's going to be rule of cool, it's going to be gameplay, whatever way they do it. So they could have it where it basically gets taken off your ship pretty quick, or just is jettisoned out of your ship and collected by something else when you sell it or whatever. It could be that it's teleported one way and another. That's less likely. It could be that it's fully taken off the ship slowly by people, and whether you can pay potentially to have it done faster or whatever, and it could be done in front of you, or it might be done like obscured to the side, like where you put it in your hangar and it's like closed off and you can't see what's happening. So there's lots of ways they could do it, or something in between, but we don't know exactly what they're doing yet. Should they slow down with the short-range quantum travel around moons and planets? I find the current effect not very natural. They are working, they are doing new ways of doing and splining the quantum travel around planets and things, so expect some changes with that, Mr. Bubbles, anyway. I'm imagining landing in a planet that hasn't been discovered and some sort of alien coming out of the ship and killing everyone, like Alien. I mean, you probably have hostile things on planets. So potentially you could have something like that. Maybe. Find a planet and there's like horrible, it's pitch black sort of thing, or it's or xenomorph-esque, maybe. There probably will be very dangerous predators thinking about it on planets. We'd love to see some stowaway space rats inside your cargo from time to time. You probably will. You'll probably see stuff like that. I'm looking forward to seeing animals. I'm looking forward to seeing pets. I'm looking forward to seeing animals as cargo. I'm looking forward to potentially big game hunting on planets. That'll be, if that's not an actual mechanic in game, it'll be something that I will cover on my YouTube channel. It'll be big game hunting. It's the thing we are literally hunting the biggest and smallest animals around the verse. So we've killed everything. I think that'll be hilarious. But I'm hoping trophies and stuff like that will be a thing from that. There's so much stuff they can do with Star Citizen when it comes to gameplay mechanics because of the scope of it. Obviously, they want to focus on the core gameplay. They want to focus on the clever gameplay loops and stuff that everyone's going to be into. But there's almost certainly going to be fishing. There's almost certainly going to be like trophy hunting and exploration hunting and stuff like that. Because lots of other games have that. It's tropes that people enjoy. They've talked about farming. They've talked about being able to, the only deformational changes that you're about to make to a planet is, other than building and mining nodes, is potentially changing the topsoil. So for farming is the idea. Space whales are a thing. Like they were concepting them a little while ago, and they made a model for one. Hot topic. It's been suggested by some backers that fuel scooping should be allowed in nebula or atmosphere, not open space. Your thoughts? I don't really care as long as the gameplay's thought about more. So you could just have a very tiny amount of fuel scooping being done in normal space. I would like to be honest, yeah, from my personal, I think that most fuel scoops should just be done through clouds and nebula. I do think that maybe you should be able to have like really super expensive and super good fuel scoops that maybe can grab a little bit out of space that's pretty much empty. But I haven't really thought about it too much. I will put it on my list of things to think about. So, because which Predator ship? Which is the Predator ship? I think something in the Vander manufacturer. Right. Let me see if there's anything I wanted to talk about. As I got through that. Oh, people in the UK. It is local elections, and for some people, mayoral elections. So local elections, generally not seen as important as general elections, because you're not voting on what government is literally representing you, or is in charge effectively. But local elections are important to your local areas. They are who is representing you in sort of like at Parliament and in your local area. So, not that I'm particularly political. If you're in the UK, check that out. Go to a polling station if you can. I assume you would have had to have registered to vote. But if you don't want to, then don't. But I encourage you to, if you can, because your voice matters, basically. I won't brag you about it. Right. Fuck politicians. Well, indeed. If only they'd let me. Yeah, it's your voice can be heard. At the very least, even if you know that your candidate's not going to win, I would advise you to do it. You've got until 10 PM tonight, so you've got a few hours. Have a quick research to see what they fucking stand for. But it gives them a good indication of what policies are voted on, how popular people are and stuff, even if they don't win. So it is useful data. Maybe one day I will be in a position of for social or political change, but probably more social stuff. I'm not don't have a strong enough political agenda yet. Maybe in the future. So I think it's going to be something like the Drake Vulture small salvage ship, the Starlifter, the Kraken Scout Carrier, the Corsair, probably not the Corsair, or the medium storage runner for tonight's concept. Out of those, I think either the medium storage runner or the Starlifter is probably the most likely concept ship we will see later today. It's going to have variants. It's going to be 3 versions of it in total. And I can see there being multiple versions of a Starlifter for different types of vehicle, for different types of thing, like one more dropshippy sort of thing. And I can see the medium storage runner having various different uses, and you could have one as like a news van and things like that, stuff like that. So that's my thinking. It might not be any of those ships. It might not be any of those. It might be something that they haven't talked about before. It might be something they have talked about before, but I've neglected. So you can run Star Citizen, barely, but you can run it well on 12 gigs of RAM. Is the minimum, the fucking minimum you can do it on. And that's if you're not running anything else other than Star Citizen. I recommend that you have it on an SSD as well. That will be able to run Star Citizen, Jim Boardman. However, especially 3.1.4, which is pretty optimized and pretty good, there's lots of issues that it has server side. So bear that in mind. Even if you have great system or whatever, the server might be running at 30 frames and then tanked to 20 now. So there are server tankages. I mean, people have had single digits in the last patch or two ago, so. Hey Board, was curious, is CIG going to redo the character animations like walking and running? So this is something they talked about recently. Character animations are going to be customizable in the future, is the plans. So you will literally be able to choose how you walk and run based on all their locomotion sets that they have, which will be cool. And idles and things like that, you'll be able to choose and emotes, lots of different things. But yeah, they are making full locomotion sets, and they're going to be scalable. And they're going to be procedural frame based as well, so that frames will change and be generated based on the needs. So your foot can stand on a rock in a weird location, you can run over loads of rough terrain and it look natural. That's the idea and intention anyway. You probably can't. You could probably, and I don't think you could run Star Citizen currently in the alpha and on 8 gigs of RAM. You could probably, with concessions, you could, with a solid user.cfg and lots of other concessions, you could. Can you tell me something about you? How you ended up being a Star Citizen fan? I was doing YouTube videos on Diablo 3 and stuff. Actually, my Diablo 3 videos were very, very, very popular because, scratch my nose like I'm lying, but they were, because they were a niche that no one else was doing. It was how to find particular like mats, materials, and bosses and things really quickly. And I did them the videos like 2 minutes, 2 minutes long, bam, done. And that's it's sort of like Noobifiers type content, but for how to do things in games. And that's a lot of the time I'll be doing that in Star Citizen. I'll be identifying like, how do you do this as quick as video as possible on a guide on it, bam, done. That's what I want to do guides wise. One of my mates, Wes, bought a $1,000 ship for Star Citizen. I didn't know what Star Citizen was at the time. I was looking for games. I was playing Eve, and just generally like playing Titanfall and things. And I was like, oh, I really want a game. Star Citizen appealed to me. No one else was really covering it, and I went, I'll do some content on this. And I started to do it, and I went, oh, I'm loving the idea of this. Oh my god, they're putting out loads of news each week. Oh, there's quite a nice community here. And it just kind of built from there. I was, and then I moved fully into Star Citizen and went, fuck it, let's do this. I'm a Star Citizen fan though, because it's a promise to scratch a load of my itches, and I think it's a game that I'll be able to play with my friends for a long period of time. Right, bear with me 1 second, guys, because I need to use the little boys' room, the little eggs room. Bear with me 1 second. The chair is currently in charge. A good chair. Good chair. So, I've got a concern with giving a chip away without pre-sorting out. Like, okay, it's really hard to do cross thingamajig giveaways across YouTube and Twitch, and I really want to give people an equal opportunity. So if anyone's got a suggestion of how to do that, I could do it on the Discord instead or something. I could do it like whoever comments on the video or something. But do you think we will get cars that can drive and fly in Atmo? Like a hover car rather than a hover bike? I don't know. Maybe you could get like a drop buggy. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I don't think they've got anything like that planned. This donation goes to the chair. I love your streams and I'm a huge fan. Fuck you. Welcome. Jeez. Spectre Gaming, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. You can actually sub on a sponsor on YouTube now. I've been told to promote this repeatedly by my dashboard to get emotes and cool things that you can then put in comments on my videos. Feel free to sponsor. It's like a Twitch subscription. I think I'm gonna have it on all my videos as well at some point. So you can, but I think you get it through YouTube Gaming or only live at the moment. But you can post on videos with emotes and things. Fucking chair love me. Question for chair: How is Bored's arse? Does it keep you warm? Wow. I'll get the chair to answer later. Do you feel the posterior support gives Bored is returned in kind? Wow. This chair gets some love, mate. Did we ever have a definitive word on whether the Cutlass Blue will be modular? No, currently not definitive. They have not stated 100% whether the red and blue and black will be fully modular or not yet. They might be variants. They are going to look at modules. They are going to look at modular gameplay, and they are going to look at the changing of modules, I believe, next year. But they haven't really confirmed. Is there any chance the carrot will come later today as a concept sale again? Very unlikely. It's likely the carrot will be mentioned and give a little update on today. Could be go on sale again, maybe. It depends what the ship is. Someone was talking about Crusader Industries earlier as well. I think we... but there could be alien ships as well. There might be some new alien ships coming that I have no idea about. Crusader Industries doesn't have... only has the Starliner. No. Yeah. But there's other ones as well. There's other manufacturers. How much does Bored pay? Look, if he... Oh my god, he's falling apart, this chair now. Got it for 70 quid. It's great. Yeah, my chair does not give no fucks, mate. Sniper Viper! I'm not that heavy. I've got a treadmill I assembled this morning as well. Been running on my treadmill. When we will chair stream on Twitch? Next April the 1st, I'll have it streaming all day, I think. You know if the base model freelancer will have a bathroom? Probably. That's the sort of ship that will, I expect. Right, what else have we got? Anything else? Remember, Talon's Outer Haven are my spotlighted org of the month. They are giving away a Tumbrel Nova tank and a Terrapin to the same lucky winner. Someone that comments on one of my Star Citizen videos made throughout the month, or videos made throughout the month on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll have a chance to win that. Check them out though, because they are a cool roleplay org. They are relatively elitist in who they take, because they're a roleplay org, and they want to make sure that you're into the same sort of stuff that they are. Gravlev, there was loads of information on Gravlev. I've also talked to John Pritchett, so we're doing an update to this Gravlev thread. But basically, between now and 3.2, Gravlev and IFCS and potentially ESP should all be fixed, which would be fucking amazing. But could the Vandal Kingship be a possibility? It's very unlikely. I won't say it's impossible, but I would say it is 1,000 to 1. How far did you run on your treadmill this morning, and what speed? I ran for 25 minutes in total on 6 kilometers an hour. So not very fast, but for someone that's fat and sedentary, pretty fast. It was a proper jog, proper like almost a run. What are the actual number of monthly entries for your giveaways? Oh, I can actually probably find out. Discord me and I will tell you. And if you're genuinely interested for some reason, I can tell you that. I will look it up. I can grab it on the spreadsheet or the... because I can tell you entries, and I can tell you how many of those entries are valid then. Because they get crunched down, so there's only one per video. And then they get... well, actually, I don't crunch them down after that. After that, I randomly pick one and then check to see if they're a subscriber. The top guess at the moment for what ship I think it is either the medium storage runner or Starlifter, but it could be anything. I was assuming it was going to be the Vulture, but then they said there was going to be 3 of them, 3 ships announced. So it's variant. It's variants almost certainly of this ship. Do you think the EMP will stay as it is? No. They're going to be doing a full weapon pass soon anyway. And then they're even looking at distortion weapons and the Joker sucker punches and those kind of distortion weapons in a lot more detail. Thank you very much for all the love. Appreciated. Kelbini, thank you very much for the kind words. Do you think there will be jump points only certain size ships can use? Yeah, so that's probably the route they're going to go down. So they're going to have jump points of different sizes. Smaller jump points can only be used by smaller ships. There might be medium jump points. There might be large jump points. They might be specific size that only, however, this size ship can use. They might not necessarily just be small, medium, large. There might be lots of different ways they do it. I'm hoping, my hope is that you can use a small jump point as a large ship. It's just incredibly dangerous. And that's what I was hoping. Giliax, thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. Stretching is hugely important. If you're not doing much exercise, don't neglect it. I do sit-ups and push-ups quite regularly. I do a reasonable amount of stretching. It feels like I'm healthy when I stretch. So, yes, I will make sure I stretch before and after. Warm up, warm down. Hi, BG. May you do a video on which showing the differences in Star Citizen and EVE Online? Gaming School, maybe. I mean, they're very different beasts. Maybe. If I'm bored one day, or people really want that sort of thing, I do a difference between No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, EVE, and Star Citizen type videos. Maybe. Hey mate, can you recommend any other YouTubers that go deep into the lore and history in Star Citizen? The Astropub literally does Galactic Historian. You're currently checking out the Astropub. Hello from Western Australia. There was a couple of others that did it. I mean, I've done lore up till 2015. I've done a series on, there's literally, I think it's 1 or 2 episodes that will take you all the way up to 2015's lore, all of it. And it's quite short. But Alyciana does a lot of lore-esque stuff. But some of it's fiction. Other than Astropub, I don't know very many people that do lore, to be honest. My guess is it's the Razor variants for the 2 ships and the Vulture, which is the Scimitar or Scimitar or Simmersure. Try the Info Runners on YouTube. Info Runners, okay, cool, yeah. They do a load of podcasts, don't they? Any idea about the Carrack Pisces? I heard it's a 2-seater, maybe with jump capabilities and good scanners. I'm expecting something similar to the 85X when it comes to the Pisces. Yeah, it's going to be exploration based. It's going to be it's the Carrack snub basically, but expected to be exploration focused. Potentially, it may have to go underwater with a name like Pisces, won't it? Or suited to going underwater exploration in the future. Maybe. They're very cagey about the water thing at the moment, aren't they? And said, well, we'll have swimming at some point, and we're going to have a locomotion set for swimming. First time we're going to have water is going to be in 3.3 properly. However, we might not get swimming in 3.3. When can we expect a new solar system to be released? Almost certainly in 2019. Expect the latter half of the year. Right, bear with me 1 second. BG, okay. At CB, can we do the giveaway on the Discord after the stream? I'm trying to think of a fair way of doing a giveaway that also benefits me. So in the future, I will have a way when I've previously set stuff up that will be fair for people on YouTube and on Twitch to be able to put a command in that will give them an equal chance of winning easily. Like I don't want people to go, well, it's beneficial to these people or these people. So after the stream, when we're done, anyone that wants to come over to the Discord, we will be giving a Mustang Alpha game package away to a random person on Discord. Might not be random. I might go, here's a question, first person to answer it or something, and it will be something relatively obscure about Star Citizen. But that will be discord.gg/BoredGamer. If we do something like that, we will do something like that. Seb, I need to get your org details up again because that was kindly donated by Syndicate. Which are these guys? So check them out. Cool. Do you think server-side performance will increase with 3.2 or 3.3? Yeah, it's increasing even with the small iteration patches they do. And they fix a load of the outlying bugs. So expect better and better optimization. So the biggest optimization will probably come between 3.3 and 3.4. That's object container streaming, that's server meshing, that's the core tech being optimized. So big things. Object container streaming is so important to the game. Server meshing is so important to the game. RAM is so expensive, graphics cards are so expensive. I have solutions to people upgrading PCs through either cloud leveraged environments. So literally I can play Star Citizen and have on my phone, which looks like a Pokédex because it was a Pokédex, on my phone, on a tablet and stuff. And we'll talk about this later in the week properly because I'm doing some stuff with it. Also, there's enclosures that you can buy to like connect to your laptop through the Thunderbolt port, and you literally go, well, now I've got a 1070 running my crappy laptop, which is great. How do big orgs make money? They don't yet. The player daily activities help the org, and we don't know exactly how orgs are going to work. So they might have to limit org sizes. They might have to tax orgs that are large. There's lots of ways that could happen. We don't know how it's going to work yet, Lord. This sort of stuff will have to be iterated on and helped by the community. It's one of the joys of Star Citizen being the project that it is that our voices really matter and affect the game. But they haven't, as far as I'm aware, decided on that stuff yet. They've got like vague ideas, and they've probably brainstormed all of it, or whatever it's called now. Brainstorm's apparently not politically correct. Mind nuking, or something. That's probably less politically correct, I apologise. Will aligned to service allow us to walk on water? No. You will have to use spikes on water. Shallow water, yes. Prediction, 3 new ships will be 3 additional Genesis variants. Zen would fucking lose his shit. He loves that ship. Because he'd be very depressed because he's like, I haven't got money to buy it. What feature are you anticipating the most? Object container streaming. It's core tech. I know that's a really big cop-out. I suppose when it's mechanics, it's to do with the economy and industry stuff. So I'd love manufacture if they actually put it into the game. Mining's going to be important, but first stage mining is going to be pretty simple. So salvage is pretty simple. They're not like, they're going to be these amazing mechanics, but the first stage of them are just going to be minables, nom, mine, sell. It's going to be similar to cargo, but you just make your own cargo. Boarding's going to be probably one of the more exciting ones. E-War's going to be pretty exciting. When will this game officially come out? YouTube channel. What a lovely name. How official of you. We don't know. Don't know when Star Citizen's officially coming out. I'm expecting a beta for Star Citizen, so that's the MMO portion, in 2.5 years. And then a full release probably 3.5. That's my expectation. Might not be right, but I covered the game to a pretty high level. Squadron 42 could potentially come out at the end of this year. Unlikely, more like middle of next year, but I don't know. Again, we're getting calls on starters. Do you think? Fingers crossed. No, I mean we could see alien ships. I mean I missed alien ships off my list, but I'm not aware of any. Fuck's sake, Andrew. I did. I'm so sorry. The 3 ships are 600 reworks. No. I'm hoping that we start to see more from the 300 rework. Like I'm interested in how the 300 is going to how it's going to look, because people I wasn't expecting it to be bigger or anything. And I was expecting it to be a luxury sidestep from the Avengers. But it might be an alternative to the fighters. It might be like, well, you can go for high tier fighting with the Buccaneer, the Super Hornet, or the Hornets, and the Saber, or you can go for the more luxury element of that for the 300 series. Now, like, there's lots of stuff they could do. When do I think you'll win one of the giveaways? I don't know, Tim. Could be never. It could be never. Is city building going to be a thing? They can generate cities procedurally. You can build outposts. Cities are very unlikely. You might be able to build more than just outposts in the future, but well, you can't even build outposts now. So. When will the Cartoon Owl take its rightful place as the best ship and best Star Citizen ship? So once they've got the IFCS model done, once they've got ESP done, once they've got Gravlev and the thrust and maneuvering done, I think the Cartoon Owl is going to be a lot better. I think it's going to be fuel efficient, and I think it's going to be really great at strafing. So I do think that it's going to be very competitive for combat in the right hands. But it was not yet, because game is buggy, yo. Game needs lots of iteration, yo. Mate, I wish I kept those ships myself, mate. We're about to terraform planets. They've talked about this before, and almost certainly not. You might be able to change the topsoil on planets. You'll be able to build moisture extractors and things like that on planets. You might be able to build gardens and things on planets, but that'll be in other buildings. So you might be able to do some cool stuff, but no full terraforming. There could be a story event that terraforms a planet, though. There could be these big major story events and things. Will the Caterpillar have other sections add-on? Yes. So the Caterpillar will have other sections, we just don't know exactly what. They've previously shown a while ago, like armories, crew quarters, things like that. Chop shops, like area salvagey bits. So yes, it will have modules, add-ons and sections, and all that sort of stuff in the future. To expect next year for stuff like that. What's your opinion on the name of the concept for Hercules? People were talking about this. I'm not really sure. People were talking about Hercules. Maybe it's a Hercules. I'm not sure what Hercules would be, though. What do people think a Hercules would be, then? Is there knowledge about the Hercules? Star Citizen Hercules. Disco Lando responded to everyone in Twitter with an image or reference to Hercules. Is this the sign of the name, maybe? Okay. So, it's potentially called the Hercules. Disco Lando. Let's have a look. Fucking hell. What a picture. What a fucking picture. 10 hours ago. That's it. Every marketing person can pack it up. It's done. The mountain is conquered. What? And then there's a picture of Hercules. Well, it could be the Hades. ATV ship show tomorrow about the hurricane and a new concept ship. And then he replies with a picture of Hercules smacking Hades in the face. Okay. Okay. Could be the Hades. Betting's really anti game. Like they're trying to move away betting and gaming together in any shape or form. So I doubt we'll have casino ships. However, I expect that players will have their own little ways of getting around that to have casinos and betting in games somehow. They keep talking about a mech armored suit that's called the Titan. What are the chances of it being concepted today? Unlikely, because they refer to it as a ship being concepted. I want to see the Titans. I expect that around Gamescom or CitizenCon or end of year sale. That's the sort of time you get it. Eventually, we're supposed to be able to work for ships. Buying them now is the only way to try them. No, so you can get them with Wreck as well. So Wreck you can earn by playing Arena Commander in multiplayer. So that can be Vandal Swarm, Pirate Swarm, Racing, or PvP. And then you can earn Wreck, and then you can buy on the Robert Space Industries website. So you can go to the Electronic Access store there, and you can rent weapons and ships with Wreck. Do you think they will have a stealth corvette, or at least a stealth ship of close to the size of a 600i? The Prowler's pretty big, isn't it? The stealth ship. Yeah, you'll be able to make ships like that stealthy anyway, so or more stealthy. A $100 ship is competitive with basically everything else in game. Some more specialized, yeah. I'm confused about one thing. Right now, most of the ships cost real life money, but this game will be a pay-to-win game, or will everything be viable? Everything will be obtainable in-game. And that's fine to be confused about that, because CIG do not do themselves any favours with their marketing tactics. And they are great at funding the game, they are great at doing what they do, and they're great at selling us the dream of the game, which, to be honest, I think is going to be pretty close to what they've said it's going to be. I mean, even if it's just 25% of what they promised, it's still going to be fucking amazing. However, I'll try and we should all try and keep them as straight and narrow as possible when it comes to features and stuff that we want. The only thing that's really going to take a while is the time it takes to make the game, because I do think they'll have to do pretty much everything they said. But we'll have to make sure that they don't try and make anything pay to win. There are ways of funding the game. This is the only way this game could have been funded with this ship model, but we don't want it to become pay to win. What is your take on boarding pods? Yeah, I love the idea of boarding pods. I love the idea of boarding pods or little missiles that fire off that have people in, or anything like that. I want to see what the Vandal claws are like, because I believe they are boarding ships from the Vandal. But you've got larger ship versions of boarding things like the Prowler. Right. Oh, there's more images of Hercules, is there? Okay, yeah, there's multiple images of Hercules. Okay, probably the Hercules. What is Hercules known for? Let's just do Hercules. Hercules is strong. I'm pretty sure he went mad and killed his wife in the actual story. Hercules. He's super strong. So, Starlifter? Starlifter for Hercules? I mean, it could be a totally different ship. Could be a scout carrier. I mean, rather than the Kraken. He didn't kill his wife and children, didn't he? Or did he? Oh, he forcefully had sex with his wife, I believe, when he went mad. She drives him mad, or no? He's used his son, and I can't remember the story. Okay, I've got a vague concept of the original story in my head. He goes mad. Or one of the gods drives him mad. Just the kids. Okay. Starlifter, Hercules, Scout Carrier, Hercules. Don't know my Greeks. Oedipus, no, nothing. Was that the god? I don't fucking know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This stream is not about Roman and Greek mythology, except it is because we're talking about Hercules, because of Jared. Thank you, Jared. You're the best, Disco. Yeah, so thinking either Starlifter or Scout Carrier or a ship that I'm entirely unaware of that I haven't talked about. Uranus? No. My organization... I am going to go and have some food in a second. Starlifter, woo! Okay, we think it's the Starlifter now. Okay, I'm with that. Any other questions before I go and host somewhere else? What I'm going to do is, after the stream, within like 5-10 minutes after the stream, between that time, we are going to give away on the Discord, on my Discord, so discord.gg/BoredGamer. I'm going to give away a Mustang Alpha, so if anyone's interested in that, and it's a game package as well. That was sponsored by the Syndicate. Thank you very much, guys. Very much appreciated. Yes, so content creation is my main job. Yes, people can't believe it. It's a whole new world. Singing is my second job. But I love your faces. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me get the link for you. There you go. There you fucking go. Boom. And we'll be there within 5 minutes. I'm going to grab a drink and we'll talk on the Discord. And we either have it as a random person or answer a question or something in the first person. We'll get it. We'll do something like that. A fantastic point of view. Oh my god. Any tips for recruiting players for a new org? Make sure you've got a Discord. Make sure you've got a relatively set out org page. And then advertise on your Twitter. It's relatively hard because obviously you do not want to spam other people's videos or streams about it. I've got a recruitment thread in my Discord again for that sort of stuff. But love you guys. I'm going to go and host someone or raid someone. Let's see if any BoredGamers are streaming. No, they're not. Why are you not BoredGamer stream? Then let's go and find someone else that is streaming then. Oh, fucking Maya. Right. I'm gonna go host Maya because I love his face. Boom. Give Maya some love. Put loads of emotes into his face or something. I'm sure he'll like it. Hopefully he's not signing off or anything. I love Maya. He's one of my faves. And I will be doing content with him in the future. VR content as well. Not just Star Citizen Naru content. We will going on to the BoredGamer Discord after I've grabbed a drink. I'm giving away a Mustang Alpha from Syndicate. Thank you very much. You're a legend. Love your faces. Take care. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you've got questions or anything, again, Discord, message me, drop me a email, whatever. Love you guys. Thank you very much.